We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Anders Carlson has this teed up, ready to get started. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a first carry for their fullback. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now. In motion, Hill. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Will McDonald. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll let this go deep for Waddle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defenders' minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. And that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. Here's Fields. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. 2nd and 10. Fields now to throw. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
He'll find Lazard here over the middle. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
3rd and 3. They'll run with Hall. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
Now Fields. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now a 2nd and 10. Fields. He finds Wilson. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
2nd and 7. They'll go again with Hall. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here is 3rd and 5. Now it's Fields. Throw over the middle. He's got Rucker. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Oh, that's a sharp throw right there on 3rd down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
So 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Here's Fields. Once again, Rucker. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Back to throw. Fields. And he will not get away. He's sacked back around the 3-yard line. It'll wind up going as a sack and a loss of 2. And now the task gets more difficult here on 3rd and goal.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense. So the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. One of the tight ends comes in motion. They'll try to run with Hall. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Jets are on the board first here this afternoon. So both sides of the football contributing here early. Their defense forces the punt, and then the offense takes it down the field and punches it in on the short touchdown run.
And, Brandon, that's good complementary football, and that's what they're going to need if they want to get out of here victorious.
Carlson's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. and they do so and pick up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. From the gun, it's Tua. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Tua going to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they'd really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time, let's keep doing it until they stop us? Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. I think a lot of time when we see a sack, you say, well, you blame it on the offensive line, the quarterback, but here, maybe you just tip your hat to the defender. What a play.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they just get a sense of the play before the ball's even snapped. Kind of like a sprinter anticipating the gun in a race. They're off, and guess what? The quarterback's down.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Bradley Chubb, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Tua sets up to pass it. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Now Hall to start the drive. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 37. In motion is Washington. They'll run. Here's Devon Achane to about the 40-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd down and 6. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. This offense so far on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Jermaine Johnson credited with that sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Jets will take over. New York ready to go again offensively. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
To throw is Fields. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Out of the gun, Fields. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Jordan Brooks on the tackle.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. From the 46, here's the 2nd down and 9. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
A shotgun snap, Fields. Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
2nd and a couple. Straight ahead is Hall. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Flushed out right. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
On 3rd and short, not only did he get away from the rush and pick up a first down, he picked up a whole lot more than that. And how did he get it done? Evaded the rush, kept his poise, and then how about him directing traffic as he moved downfield to pick up extra blockers?
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
And that is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And they'll bring out Anders Carlson now to try the field goal. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first-half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. The slot man in motion right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. A run straight ahead with Achane. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to pass. Tua. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hill. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. On play action, here's Tua. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 42. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And this offense has been a little slow to get going, but some signs of life here in this 2nd quarter. They're moving it pretty good. And that helps the cause as well. Good yardage and another 1st down.
Going to the air. Tagovailoa. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. To the 27-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Right back to Achane on 2nd down. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. That is caught. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 12-yard line. 12 yards on 3rd down as the drive rolls on.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. Now Tua. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Brandon Stevens. And the Jets are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Fields now to throw. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Fields. Staying on his feet. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Fields. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Fields. And he's taken down inside the 30. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. 4 seconds left, and there's the timeout. In field goal range and a chance to tack on 3 before intermission. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half. 1 second, all that remains. Tua, a final shot before half. He's going to launch it for Washington. And this one is incomplete. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Jets going to take over on offense to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Bradley Chubb picks up his second sack of the afternoon. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here comes third down and 7. A play fake, now Fields to throw. He wants Reynolds way downfield. This is intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. After the turnover, it's Tua. Short throw going to be caught by Waller. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be second down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 8. Here's Tua. Got him in. It's Brown. They'll give him 4 yards there, and now it's 3rd and 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Out of the gun on 3rd down, here's Tua. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
This is Lazard with a catch out left. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that will bring up 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's 2nd and 10. Handoff, running left. Here's Hall. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Back to throw, Fields. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's the Jets punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. And the tight end goes in motion left. Tua going to throw. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Tua sets up to pass it. But he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. New York's offense back out there and set to go. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
51 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Seemed like they picked an excellent time there, Charles, to go with the draw play.
They certainly did. Caught him a little over-eager trying to get into the backfield and get to the quarterback. They used their speed and their aggressiveness against them, didn't they?
On 1st down, right back to Hall.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end.
Here's Hall again.
A beautiful fake. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now it's Fields. Finding room at midfield. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. Over the middle, complete. It's Reynolds. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down.
Back to the ground with Hall.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Here's Fields. Outright, he's got Ruckert. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A very solid gain of 27.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
To throw is Fields. Out to his left. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Justin Fields taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Jets are able to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Carlson back out there now to send this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Side. And all the way down to the 29. It's a big play there for Miami. 43 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Finding Waddle crossing the field and bringing it in. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 29 yards. And the Dolphins are able to cut into that deficit. So that, Charles, their first score of the ball game, obviously, coming here in the third quarter. Is that going to be enough to energize the troops?
It's a great question, and we'll wait to see the answer, but it's finally something for them to build on. Now they know that they can actually score against that defense.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And New York set to take the field. Their lead down from 21 to 14, but still sitting at a great spot, up 2 scores here in the third quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. Hall. Oh, good move. 75 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
A shotgun snap, Fields. He completes it to Wilson. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Back to throw now on first down. Connection made to Ruckert.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Fields. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 8. Hall again. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's Jet football as they've got the lead here, and we get set to begin quarter number 4. From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the 4th quarter. To end the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Throw caught by Achane. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a first down.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now Tua. He's got Brown on the out route complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 27-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
In motion right here, Washington.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. He'll take it inside the 25.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd down and 7.
In motion, Hill. Off of play action, Tagovailoa.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
In motion right here, Washington.
And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. The kick by Sanders is good, and that will close the gap down to 14. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Another drive coming up for New York's offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Fields now to throw.
Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, here's Tua.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
Looking to pass. Tua. That is incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
Sanders' kick is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And able to get this out to the 25. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Now Fields. Pass complete. He's got Lazard on the out route. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Fields. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
From the gun, here's Fields. He'll find Reynolds over the middle. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Out of the gun, Fields. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
And this is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. Takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
Back to throw, Fields. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Hall ought to give up the middle. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now Fields on 3rd and goal.
Throw left side to Reynolds. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
And out come the Dolphins now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's right. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Washington in motion left. On play action, here's Tua to the right side and complete to Washington. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jamian Sherwood.
And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll give to Hall, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage.
Tyrell Dodson, the one to bring him down.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Hall again on 2nd down.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
A handoff for Hall.
And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the 1st as the tackle is made at the 33.
And they'll bring out Anders Carlson now to try the field goal.
This to make it a 3-score game late. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Carlson back out there now to send this one away.
Well, now how about this return?
And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. The Dolphins ready to take over on offense. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And he'll get it right back to Washington. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here's Tua. Well, the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Will McDonald able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Tua going to throw. Now he's flushed out right. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. Play action. Now it's Tua. They'll swing this out wide. Here's HN. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill on the touchdown pass from Tua. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And now the Jets are going to get this one, and that might be all she wrote. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Fields down to a knee here, and that should just about put a bow on this one.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
A lot more was on the line in this one than just defending your home field, CD. They defend their home field against a division rival and get the victory, so this one feels a little extra special.
It has to, right? There's always just a little more emphasis on games like this. Everyone talks about playing each game the exact same way, but you and I both know that is not true. Division rivals, you want to take care of business not just at home, but against a team that you really don't like very much, too.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Jets as we say so long from MetLife Stadium.